Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be reacting to episode 4 of Project Alpha. If I sound a little bit different today, I don't know if you can tell.
Aside from my microphone not working, that is. I swear everything is on and plugged in and there's just no telling if it'll actually work or not. Sorry.
A tiny human that was sick coughed directly into my face on Friday, and I have been dealing with the resulting illness ever since. As far as I can tell, I think it's just a virus. My throat was scratchy and my ears were kind of stopped up. The throat scratchiness is entirely gone, which is good, but now my ears are like entirely 100% stopped up. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, everything is like half the volume that it normally is. But thankfully, the progression is happening quickly. I believe my recovery will be swift, and I feel completely fine besides the whole stuffed up ear thing. And my voice sounds deeper to myself, but I don't know if it comes across that way. I kind of feel like I'm in some 1940s like film noir where I'm the femme fatale and I'm like, detective, I have a mission for you, or something like that. Anyway, we're all here today for Project Alpha episode 4. This episode is, I believe, the first Alpha challenge. I'm not sure if that's what they call it. Basically, this is the first episode where a beta was voted to challenge 2 of the 4 alphas. Someone in my comments was telling me that the alphas, or I guess everybody in the alpha challenge, so there's 3 people, they get to choose what kind of performance they give, so they can decide if they want to do a ballad or if they want to do something really dance heavy or a pop song or hip hop or whatever. And in a way, I do understand that because they're the alphas. I guess they get perks to being alphas. That makes sense. But on the other hand, if these people are trying to create like a group by the end of this, like a T-pop group by the end, you'd want them to all be really well-rounded. So, I mean, if I was in charge, I would be like, you're gonna be equally graded on like singing, dancing, and like performance. And if you just sing a ballad with no dancing, that's gonna like lower your marks in the dancing category. I don't know. I guess they know what they're doing, and to be fair, I haven't watched the episode yet, so maybe they will say that. Maybe they will judge these performances and be like, you're supposed to be an alpha, where were your dance moves? I will not be able to watch this entire episode in one sitting, so there will be a bit of a change of lighting at the very least at some point in this video, just to forewarn you if that is something you like to be aware of. And before we get started, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can join the Dramatic family, and share this video with someone who you think would enjoy it, and follow me on my other social medias. They'll be linked in my link tree in the description box below. You'll find me on TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram, and Tumblr, as well as right here. But without further ado, let's get started. Okay. He produced the Alpha. Is that the theme song of the show? It would make sense.
เพลงนี้ก็มาจากคอนเซ็ปต์ของรายการเลยคือมีอัลฟาแล้วก็มีเบต้าแต่งเพลงให้มันมีเสียงหมาป่าแล้วก็เอาหมาป่ามาตั้งมีเบต้าคอยตามอัลฟาบอกให้ตามมาสิแล้วเบต้าก็วิ่งตามเราก็พยายามจินตนาการภาพฝูงหมาป่าแล้วก็จับมันลงมาในเพลงอะครับ
Oh, there's like a whole
ทำงานร่วมกับเขาเลยครับ
it's the big group dance.
ทั้งแรปทั้งร้องอะไร
It reminds me of in Miss Congeniality when they all have to perform the Miss United States song. I don't remember how it goes. I haven't seen that movie in a while, but obviously this is very different, but that is the first thing that came to my mind.
พร้อมทุกลมหายใจทุกย่างก้าวอย่างเงี้ยฮะแบบพร้อมที่จะเป็นอัลฟา ผมเห็นตัวเองในโชว์เพลงเนี้ยครับว่าแบบตัวเองกำลังแบบเล่นกับเพลงนี้อยู่
I know I've said it before, but Lego, he is so smart. The blue hair. That was genius to have blue hair on this show. But also, even just in this moment, the outfit that he's wearing, even just for like a dance practice, I'm sure they were given like instructions about things to wear because it seems like everybody's in a white shirt and black pants. But him just like adding the green over it, so he'll be easy to remember. They'll be able to talk about him and be like, oh, you know, that one in the green sweater, he was so good. Like, he with the blue hair and the green sweater, he is a smarty pants. He either got great reality TV training or it's just natural. It's just part of him. He was just born with it. Oh! I assume this is before everybody got sent home?
No.
Oh, and it's like the 4 alpha. Okay. Are they gonna re-perform this every week with the new alphas? I just noticed they get to keep their fancy little fur jackets on for this performance. Yay, alphas with their fancy little jackets. I don't know why it's kind of funny to me to hear this outside the context of like the scene change to the commercial break.
Getting wild. You know the alpha. You know the alpha. แล้วยังจะเอามาเธอ alpha.
Very fun. I do have to say, from watching the performance, and I don't know how everything's gonna go, but I can see why, if they knew they wanted to have Lego in the group, Fluke doesn't end up in the group. And again, not that, I don't know if he's gonna be like a top contender for the entire rest of the show. I'm only kind of speaking on what I've seen so far. But, you know, there's kind of that aspect of making a group where you can't deny the fact that they all are kind of supposed to fulfill different, I don't want to say archetypes, that's not the word I'm looking for, but
Personas.
it's not as simple as back in the day where there was like the cute one and the edgy one and the da-da-da. It's not that clear cut and dry anymore, but I would say there is still a hint of that in groups like this. And that's not a bad thing. It's like they want them to appeal to as many people as possible. So they're trying to have different kinds of people in the group. But I can see how if they knew they wanted Lego, they wouldn't have Fluke, because they both kind of have that cuteness to them, like to their face. I'm not saying necessarily about their personality, speaking purely about aesthetics here, but they just both are really like visually cute. And I can see how if you have one, you're like, well, we've got the cute one in that respect. We don't need another one. Not to say they're all not cute. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying if we're all fulfilling different roles in the group here, I can see why one is in and the other one is not.
โคตรเดือด The Alpha สุดยอด เราไม่ประกวดได้ไหมฮะ เราเจอ
I was like furiously trying to count how many there were to see if all of the eliminated people had left.
ที่แบบชนะเลิศแล้ว
They have. This is just the 20, the top
ถามกรรม
20.
การครับ
Yes, shout out to the crew.
ที่จะทำ
Clap, clap,
โชว์ขนาดนี้
clap.
มันต้องใช้ทีมเวิร์กและใช้ทีมงานไม่ว่าจะเป็นโคโรกราฟเฟอร์สไตลิสต์ทุกคนเยอะมากขอเสียงปรบมือกับทีมงานนะครับสุดยอดมากทุกคนสุดยอดมากทุกคนเป็นน้องๆได้สุดยอดมากครับแล้วน้องๆทุกคนเลยบอกเลยทุกอาทิตย์ที่ได้เจอกันเนี่ยสุดยอดจริงคือทุกลงตัวทุกคนมีหน้าที่ตัวเองแล้วก็ทำได้ดีมากเรารู้สึกว่ามันเป็นแพ็คอะมีจ่าฝูงมีอาจจะมีตัวรองบ้างแต่
So I guess are they gonna perform it each time as more people are eliminated? They perform it again as a group and again as a group? That'll be interesting. Maybe that won't happen. I don't know. Then he just said if you perform it again, I want more power. So if you perform it again,
จะได้อยู่
or
ใน
when you
ราชมังคลาใช่ไหมเพราะฉะนั้นพลังมันแผงหน้าตอนจบระวังนะครับ ข้างหลังเขาเหมือนมีพลังบางอย่างซ่อนอยู่ ระวังเขาจะขย้ำเรานะฮะ ระวัง
Alphas better watch their back.
คือพี่ก็อยู่ในฐานะแบบคนประกวดมาก่อนนะเนาะแล้วพอมันเห็นแบบพลังสามัคคี
Oh, so she's been a contestant on like a similar type of show before. So she really knows what they're going through.
แต่วันนี้ที่พี่ดีเห็น
That's good that they have a judge like that who understands.
สิ่งที่พี่อยากเห็นคืออยากให้ตั้งใจขึ้นไปเรื่อยๆเพราะพี่อยากตัดสินยากๆค่ะ
I love how every time there's a applause break, you can hear the like fangirls in the crowd
มันให้ energy ที่ต่าง
represent ladies.
แบบชนิดแบบ
I'm here
คู
for
ณ
you
5คูณ
2
6
years,
ขอชมเลย
2.5
ขอ
years
ชม
later.
ท่อนที่ของตัวเองที่มันควรจะเท่ทุกคนเก็บได้หมดเลยอ่ะคือสุดยอดครับหวังว่าโชว์หลังจาก
Yeah, the more people you have on stage, I think the more it almost like inspires you. You're not as self-conscious. So like you see your people around you going all out, so it makes you want to go all
แล้ว
out.
ก็เดทไปเลยนี่เป็นบทพิสูจน์ว่าพวกเรามีคุณภาพ แล้วก็พวกเราพร้อมที่จะเป็นศิล
Got
ปิน
your
ทุกคน
wolf
เลย
pack with you. Woohoo! There's our best beta time. What an outfit he's got. Is that a zebra jacket over a leopard print shirt?
กรรมการคาดหวังจะเห็นโชว์อะไรฮะ
Prey on the outside, but a predator
เพล
within.
งรักได้เปล่าครับ
เพลงนั้นได้ปะ
I don't know if it's that deep or if it's
ด้วยความ
just.
ที่มันเป็นเวทีประกวดด้วยความที่มันเป็นเพลงสไตล์แบบน่ารักมันก็ต้องห้ามเรียบไปคงต้องมีที่ว่าต้องมีเซอร์ไพรส์อะไร
It's a cutesy
เรา
song.
คาดหวังความน่ารักอะเพลงนี้มันเป็นคำถามนะเรารักได้เปล่าทำยังไงก็ได้ให้พี่นี้ตอบรักให้ได้อะ
อันนี้
ซึ่งเขาพร้อมตั้งรับอยู่แล้วนะ
ใช่ใช่
เขาตอบ
ก็
ตั้งแต่
รู้
ก่อนเห็
เนี่ย
นโชว์อยู่แล้วหรือเปล่าฮะ
yes ค่ะ แต่ก็ต้องรอดูโชว์ เพลงมันน่ารักก็จริง แต่อยากเห็นเสน่ห์ที่มันออก
Sunny
มา
is
เพราะ
so
ว่ามันเหมือน
cute.
คำถาม
She's like
นะ
my favorite.
รักได้เปล่า มันต้องเป็นคำถาม
I'm also realizing she is the only woman,
อยากโค้ชเขา
which I understand it's to debut a boy group, so it makes sense. But it kind of just occurred to me, all the judges, the MC, all the contestants, and then there's Zani, and she's like, I got it, ladies. Represent the ladies.
เต็มที่นะ สู้อย่างเต็มที่ครับ
And I'm back with my cat. I don't know if you can see her, but she is here. And now let's watch Time's performance to fight for his seat as an alpha.
ความสนุกน่ารักอะไรเงี้ยสดใสด้วยแล้วก็มีแรปที่แบบมัน
Oh, he gets backup
เพลงนี้
dancers.
จะได้เห็นอะไรจากไทม์ใช่ไหมครับการเต้นที่สนุกครับการดึงดูดคนอะไรเงี้ยแบบสนุกเฮฮามีอะไรที่แปลกใหม่เราไม่เคยทำเหมือนกันใช่ครับนี่เป็นครั้งแรก
วันนี้ 3 คนที่แข่งกันผมรู้สึกว่าพี่ไทม์มีเปอร์เซ็นต์ที่จะได้เป็นอัลฟาค่อนข้างสูงครับ
ตัวว่าพี่ทามอ่ะสามารถขึ้นไป
Aw, his team is rooting for him. So cute. coming up from the alpha seat.
เจอกี่ครั้งก็ยังละเมอยอมให้เธอได้ทุกอย่างให้ฉันรักได้ปากให้จะน่ารักเท่ากับเธอหาให้ตาย You so cute เวลาอยู่ยิ้มคนอะไรน่ารักซะจริงแฟนมาแล้วกี่คนแต่ฉันก็ไม่ได้สนใจเธอเคยมีแฟนเป็นตัวเป็นตนแต่ก็ไม่ลงเอยเท่าไรโอเคโอเคเธออย่าเพิ่งแปลกใจรักที่ฉันมีไม่ได้มีแจกใครฉันเป็นคนดีไม่ได้มีฤทธิ์เดชให้เธอคนดีได้เป็นคนพิเศษรักเท่ากับเธอเจอกี่ครั้งก็ยังละเมอยอมให้เธอได้ทุกอย่างให้ฉันรักได้ปากให้เจ็ดน่ารักเท่ากับเธอหาให้ตายก็หาไม่เจออยากขอเธอแค่สักอย่างให้ฉันรักได้เปล่าโอ้ให้ฉันรักได้เปล่าโอ้ให้ฉันรักได้เปล่าโอ้
It did just entirely occur to me that like this all seems like it's happening on the same night. So did everybody just like have a song prepared in case they had to go compete for like an alpha seat? Or did more time pass than they're making it seem? Because I know that's kind of what reality shows do is they like mess with time. They make stretch it out or they can condense it. So, but this definitely seems like it's the same night that everyone just got eliminated in. And that he just like had this prepared. Regardless, he did very well. It was a very cute little side of him that I don't think we had really gotten to see as much of yet. And he pulled it off very well. His dancing was so cute. He really like played to his strengths in that to like make the stage interesting. But, you know, he's clearly not going to be like America's Next Best Dance Crew or anything. And I think he knows that. So he was really playing to his strengths and that worked out really well for him. There were just a couple moments where his voice would waver a little bit when he was doing certain dance moves, which I mean is normal, but for somebody who's, you know, wanting to become like a global T-pop star, just time to build up his stamina a little bit, I guess. I always think of the story of Jungkook from BTS. He would do his like singing exercises while running on the treadmill to build up his breath control and his like vocal stamina and stuff. And man's voice does not shake. It is absolutely insane. Because I was in show choir and I know when you do certain moves, you like can't sing as well. And that's why the choreography is the way it is to compensate for that. And so these boys they're quite impressive. And I know it's not easy. Random aside, but the little backup dancer in the bottom corner. Does anybody know his name? I'm asking for a friend, not for myself, just in case you were curious. I just watched the judges' commentary and I'm a little surprised. They're always kind, but they were pretty hard on him, which I suppose he is, you know, the best beta. He's competing for an alpha seat. So if there's a time to be more critical, then this is it. But they just were all singing his praises going into this performance. And there's a lot of critique and it's good critique. And I think that if he implements it, he'll be a better performer. But it's just surprising for somebody that, you know, they were speaking so highly of to now seemingly they're not speaking as highly of him. They praised his dancing a lot, but they said his powerful voice is almost his weakness because it keeps him from adding nuance to his performance to keep him from building, I guess. It's like when there's a big ballad in a Broadway show, that is usually the moment where the main actor or actress will have their voice be at like a 10. And that is usually like the only time in the show where they're showing that full power because they want that moment to be really emphasized. So speaking of like Wicked, when Elphaba does that belt in Defying Gravity, you don't hear her voice like that ever again. You don't hear it before, you don't hear it after. And she clearly can because she sings it, but she saves it for that moment because it's the like turning point of the entire story. It's the place they really want a lot of emotional emphasis. So that's where she puts a lot of her power when she is singing that song. So I kind of see what they're saying. They're saying there was no like emphasized part. It was all one note because he has such a strong voice and he really leaned on it, which in turn actually ended up being more of a weakness for his performance because there was no progression of, you know, like using some musical terms here, like pianissimo to forte to, you know, growing to loud and then soft again. And you can have dynamic. You don't have to just go from 1 to 0. You can go, or 1 to 10. You can go from like 1 to 5 to 6 to like 2 to 3 and then build, and then like back off again. But I see what they're talking about. Though I am surprised they were as critical as they were. And this episode came out on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas time. You get critique. Time for Nut's performance. Ooh, look at him. He stood up and gave a full pause for everyone to like look at him, stare, admire, and then he walked down the stairs.
ก็200เลยครับ
Confident 200 out of 100. I'm curious to what kind of performance he's going to do.
ครับวันนี้เลือกเพลงอะไร
มีแฟนแล้วครับ
ทำไมเลือกเพลงนี้ฮะ
ก็อยากมีแฟนแล้ว
ชัด
หล่อแถมโสดไม่ได้โปรโมท
He wants to date someone already. He's handsome and single.
อ้อนอีกแล้วนะ
ใช่ แต่จริงๆก็ถือว่า
I know it'll be interesting to see him doing something like this
เพราะว่า
because
มีคาแรค
his
เตอร์บางอย่างของเราที่
previous performances haven't quite been this way. So
รอดูเหมือนกันครับ
ขอบคุณ
I'll
กร
be
รมการ
curious to see what
ครับ
character
กรรม
he
การ
brings
รอดู
out.
แล้วคุณผู้ชมรอ A20 นัดครับกับเพลงอยากมีแฟนแล้ว
อยากมีแฟนแล้ว
ผมเลือกเพลงอยากมีแฟนแล้วครับที่ผมเลือกเพลงนี้
The
ก็เพราะ
W
ว่า
sound is
ตอนแรก
hard
ผ
for
มฟัง
me.
เพลงนี้แล้วผมรู้สึกแบบเห็นตัวเองในโชว์ครับเห็นตัวเองทำโชว์นี้อยู่ก็เลยแบบมันภาพมันชัดว่าผมจะเล่นกับโชว์นี้ยังไงอะไรยังไงก็เลยเลือกเพลงนี้มาใช้ครับ
I am so curious how the alpha performances work. Like they pick their songs, but do they also choreograph it or do they get help from a choreographer? And if they do they get to like input with the choreographer or is the choreographer just like, this is the song? Okay, here's your dance. And they just like roll with it? I don't know. I'm so curious. See, these are the behind the scenes things I'm really curious about. Is the production design of Project Alpha. Is that what it is? Production design? I'm not sure if that's the right term. Anyway.
แดนเซอร์ครับก็เลยต้องแบบซ้อมให้หนัก
I know you have to
ขึ้น
stand
แล้วก็
out against the
ให้แบบ
backup
มันแรง
dancers,
พอ
the
กับ
professional
พี่ๆ
dancers who do this every day.
5 คนนะครับผมจะเซอร์ไพรส์พี่ๆทุกคนเลยครับได้ดูโชว์ผมครับรับรองว่าอยากเป็นแฟนผมแน่นอนครับถามพี่ดูโชว์ผมรับรองพี่จะเสียใจที่พี่มาถามผม
He's already trying to gather his fans. He's like, yes, young ladies, come to me and be my fan. Oh, it's cute. You get a smile.
และคุณเท่านั้นที่ทำให้ผมนั้นจะตั้งอยู่ตรงนี้และคุณเท่านั้นที่ทำให้ผมน่ารักเกินกว่าใครผมอยู่คนเดียวมาตั้งนานหลายปี
A lady dancer?
ด้วยกันก็ดีผมคิดว่ามัน
Another lady dancer?
กันมากกว่านี้อยากมีแฟนแล้วสักทีอยากมีแฟนแล้วสักทีอยากมีแฟนแล้วสักทีอะไรจึงก็คงน่ารักสุดๆใจผมเป็นแรง
Lego dancing on the side. So cute.
ตาจมูกยิ้มหวานเหลือเกินและซับผมเกินจับมุดผมนึกว่านางฟ้าไม่อยู่บนโลกมนุษย์แต่ถ้าหากว่าคุณไม่มีใครจองไว้แล้วมาคุยกันมาดึงก้าวเราไม่เพราะว่าคุณต้องตาและไม่ว่าตอนไหนคุณก็ดูเธอ
Okay.
ไม่อ๋อมีอะไรจะห้ามให้และ if you want คุยกันไหมแล้วเราไปกบมาตอนคุณพร้อมผมอยู่คนเดียวมาจากมาหลายปีแฟนแล้วสักทีอยากมีแฟนแล้วสักทีอยากมีแฟนแล้ว
I feel like I don't know if he heard Time's critique. I think maybe he did, but again, I don't know if it's one of those things that it's my computer or if it's the sound or if he was doing it on purpose. I feel like I almost couldn't hear him at certain parts. And maybe he was doing the thing where he was trying to add like dynamicness to his performance. So he was quieter and then he got louder and then that kind of thing. And maybe my speakers just aren't giving me that information well, which is entirely possible. He was so precious. He did such a good job. I was really impressed with his performance. Loved the dance. I was impressed that he did that little dance break section almost right there at the end, like right before the final verse, because he was mentioning in the behind the scenes of him learning this that he would get tired and he felt like he couldn't keep up with the dancers. And I'm like, you save that dance break for the end when you're tired and you're out of breath and they're all dancing full out. And so you also have to dance full out. Brave man, brave man. Very curious to hear what the judges have to say. Also, I must admit, I am warming to him. Not that I didn't like him as a person. I don't know him as a person, but his character in ThamePo. Oh, his character in ThamePo made me feel emotions I don't like to feel. It's nice to see more of his, something closer to his real personality. I'm not under the illusion that anything we see on TV is 100% real, but I hope this is closer to his actual personality. Wow, one of the judges straight up said they didn't think he had deserved to be an alpha at first, but then this performance changed his mind. That's some high praise. The lady judge was funny. She said, you want to date me? I'm ready. She's like, I feel like a fan screaming in the audience for like the idol that they love. She's always so funny. I always love hearing her comments. And the judges overall were very, they praised him quite a lot. They said they were really surprised by the side of him and that it worked really well with the song. And he did a great job kind of just letting himself be cutesy and sweet. And he still kind of had like a little Playboy edge, but you know, it was still overall like a sweet song. And he put his own twist on the original that the judges seemed to really like. And all of them were basically praising him and saying that he made them fall in love, which I would say is quite an important attribute for a idol to have, to make people fall in love with them. And he was so cute. They'd give him comments like that and he'd be like, precious. Onward to Fluke's performance.
มาให้กรรมการได้ดูครับ
เตรียมโชว์เพลงโต๊ะริมครับ
เฮ้ยทำไมเลือกเพลงนี้ครับทำไมเลือกเพลงนี้
เพราะว่าโชว์ก่อนหน้านี้ใช่ไหมครับผมจะเป็นแนวแบบว่าเฟียสอะไรอย่างงี้ครั้งนี้เลยแบบอยาก move on บ้างอยากให้เห็นมุมแบบน่ารักความข้างรักอะไรอย่างงี้
I'm really curious that all three of them, from what they're saying, they seemed to have chosen really like sweet, cutesy love songs. Seemingly, they all chose them independently of each other. I wonder if the omniscient hand of production was involved in this at all, because all three of them chose like a sweet, cutesy, silly little love song.
ของฟลุกดีมากฉะนั้นวันนี้จะตั้งใจ
Wow, Fluke is so pretty. He was one of my favorite parts of One D Good Day. I really hope he's in more stuff.
อัลฟาของ A08 ฟลุกครับกับเพลงโต๊ะริม
Okay, BTS's Airplane Part 2 music video. I see you. Even has the flower in the jacket.
เหมือนหัวใจลอยหลุดไปเธอกับคนด้วยสายตาเองกับเธอนั้นมองมาไม่ปลอดภัยแม้อยู่ไกลเธอเท่าไรเหมือนว่าโดนดึงดูดไปหากใครเข้าไปใกล้นานก็อยากที่จะตามใจ
Oh, no backup dancers. It's just him and the stage. Oh, I spoke too soon. There are the backup dancers. Okay, falsetto. I see what they mean now when the judges said it's not an easy song to sing. I liked it. I don't know. It's hard to know what they're going to do because you never know how much power the omniscient hand of production has in something. And if they want to make it, an entertaining TV show, how much does that compete with like who you think deserves to win? Not that I don't think they all did a good job. And I mean, it depends on the critique that they give him. But if they praise him quite a lot, I could see them picking Fluke and Nut still because they didn't praise Time a lot for his performance. I mean, they did a bit, but not, nearly as much as they did Nut. And I'll be curious to see what they say about Fluke. It's also interesting knowing what Lycan becomes watching this back now, because I can see why Fluke didn't end up in the final lineup. I think I've already said something similar before, but especially after this performance. And obviously he's incredibly talented. That's not what I'm saying at all, but it's like, I don't know. There's just something about the other ones that makes the cohesive whole and the image that they're trying to portray. And I don't know if Fluke would have fit that image. Not in a bad way, just that his vibe is different. He struck out and done his own thing. And I don't know how much of that is them and how much of it is, obviously they were trained and molded to become Lycan after they get chosen. So there's that aspect of it. And they spend more time around each other and stuff. But I don't know. There's just Fluke almost seems too mature. I don't know if that's the right word. He almost seems like he should be like an R&B soloist and not necessarily in like a pop group, if you know what I mean. Or at least not the pop group that Lycan ends up becoming, which I know because I am watching this with like 2.5 years of hindsight. But yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes from here. And I honestly kind of like not watching it in real time because I like having the information I have now to then go back and I can kind of like dissect it and like see things. To be fair, I don't know how much I would have seen if I had watched it initially. Probably not as much, but I'm still having fun. I hope you are too. Okay, so the judges were pretty critical of Fluke as well. I will say I think they praised him more than they praised Time still. They were saying he has a lot of strengths. His voice is absolutely beautiful, but that he didn't like showcase all his strengths, I think is what they were trying to say. And that he seemed so worried about the microphone prop that he let it kind of get in the way of really owning the dance. But they still praised him quite a lot and said he did a good job and that his voice was really good, which it is. He has a beautiful voice. So I'm very curious to see who they're going to vote for to take the Alpha Thrones. And now we have the fan favorite performance, which is such a fun addition. I didn't think we'd get something like this.
เราก็จะถือว่านี่เป็นของขวัญให้กับคนดูแล้วก็เราเหมือนกันเพราะฉะนั้นเราจะไม่คิดอะไรเลยนะครับเราจะไม่คิดอะไรนะเราจะรอดูอย่างเพลิดเพลินแต่ถ้าไม่เพลิดเพลินขึ้นมาเราก็ก็เตรียมคอมเมนต์อยู่เหมือนกันนะใช่ไหม
One of the judges is saying, I shouldn't have any comments. This is just for fun. It's just for fun for us and the viewers. But if I don't enjoy it
แฟนเก่า
ในโปรเจกต์อัลฟาครับซึ่งรู้สึกว่า
Oh my gosh, this is the song that Peem Peem auditioned for Project Alpha with.
มีแบบคอสตูมมีแสงสีเสียงแบบ
He can help the others out.
สำหรับโชว์นี้นะครับทุกคนจะได้เห็นการร้องเพลงแบบใหม่ๆของแชมป์แล้วก็สไตล์การ
I'm so curious to see who this is honestly what I'm really curious about every week as it goes on. Like, who are the fan favorites going to be? Are there going to be any consistent ones?
พัฒนาขึ้นมาได้ขอบคุณที่ทำให้
What if they vote an alpha as one of the favorites? Or are the alphas like automatically excluded from being included? I mean this as a compliment when I say it. I know it might not sound like it, but I do. Their little opening harmony, they sounded like a barbershop quartet. I love barbershop quartets, by the way. Hong Pao is a much more talented singer than he is a rapper. In my personal opinion, I'm not an expert, but that's my opinion. And I don't know why he wanted to rap those parts in the song they sang last week. Something about the way that Dewey is styled, he looks so familiar. He reminds me of somebody. Yes, Dewey pulling a Jong Ho. He's like, let me just go belt over here and then I will jump back into the dance in a second. Listen, Dewey said, this might just be the fan favorite performance, but I am not letting this opportunity pass me by. So the judges had a good mix of praise and criticism. They really praised Doi. They said that he came to life in this performance, and they were like, where has all of this been hiding? Where have all your skills been hiding? If you can perform this way in the next like competition stage, like you are in the running to be an alpha, like, which obviously we knew he had to do well, but it's nice to hear him be praised because I feel like he's kind of not gotten a ton of screen time yet. So that's nice. They told Ong Pao he needs to practice more. And, you know, good mix of critique and praise, as always. Only two can be the alpha. One will have to go to the Beetles. Oh, even for this, they have to walk in from their separate sides. Goodness.
ช่วงเวลาที่สำคัญที่สุดมาถึงแล้วครับกับการแข่งขันเมื่อสักครู่นี้น้องๆทำโชว์เต็มรูปแบบอย่างสุดฝีมือและตอนนี้ผลการตัดสินของกรรมการได้ข้อสรุปเป็นที่เรียบร้อยผลการตัดสินจะเป็นอย่างไรขอเชิญฟังจากพี่สานีครับ
และคนแรกที่จะได้ขึ้นไปนั่งบนบัลลังก์อัลฟา
My bet's on Nut.
ก็ลุ้นนะครับแต่ว่าผมก็มั่นใจพอสมควรว่าแบบได้ยินชื่อผมเป็นชื่อแรกเราคิดว่าแบบถ้าเราได้เราก็คงแบบดีใจเลยครับ
โอ้กลัวไปหมดไม่รู้ว่าผลมันจะออกมาเป็นยังไงคืออะไรก็เกิดขึ้นได้ตอนนี้แบบลุ้นอะ
นัดค่ะ
น้องนัทนะครับ
Just call me the leader of the pack, because I can predict these judges. No, I cannot. Because I have no idea who they're going to pick next. Because there's who I would pick, and then there's who production might want them to pick to make things interesting. They said Nut had the most perfect performance they
ก็สัม
saw.
ผัสได้ในการรับชมที่บ้านเหมือนกันนะฮะกับโชว์ที่ดีมากๆจากน้องนัทครับเลยทำให้ยังคงตำแหน่งและคงบัลลังก์อัลฟาได้เชิญน้องนัทกลับประจำที่ได้เลยครับ
Nut, go back to your alpha head throne and your furry jacket.
ขึ้นไปก็รู้สึกเก้าอี้ตัวนั้นด้วย
Do they only have 4 jackets? What if somebody has like really broad
ณตอนนี้
shoulders?
มีน้องๆ2คนอยู่บนเวทีแต่เหลือ1คนเท่านั้นครับที่จะได้ตำแหน่งอัลฟาและ1คนที่เหลือจะต้องกลับไปเป็น
If I was voting, I would vote for
จะ
Fluke.
เป็นอย่างไร
But
ขอเชิญฟังจาก
if they don't want to keep the same 4 alphas and if they want to spice things up because it's a television show, time. It's hard to know.
คิดอยู่ว่าแบบถ้าสมมติแบบว่าเพื่อนได้อย่างเงี้ยเราจะยังไงดีเราก็น่าจะยินดีกับเพื่อนแหละ
ลุ้นรู้สึกว่าถ้าเป็นชื่อถามมันจะเหมือนแบบยกภูเขาจากอกมันแบบสบายมันจะโล่ง
ฟลุกครับ
Listen, is he pretty?
ยินดีด้วยกับฟลุกนะฮะ
Do I think he genuinely did a better performance? Also, yes. I am not so easily swayed. I am swayed, but not so easily swayed by a pretty face. All right, that's it for episode 4 of Project Alpha. Episode 5 is another round of survival beta, which I assume is like what we saw in episode 1. So that'll be interesting. I guess they're probably only going to do like 3 rounds of this overall if there's 12 episodes. So that will be fun to see. I'm excited to see how it all goes again, what songs they're going to do, who's going to be the best beta, who is going to compete for alpha spots. We know Hong and Toy are going to have to do it at some point. Also, pardon that I keep pronouncing Toy's name like 5 different ways. I'm trying to remember the way I'm supposed to pronounce it. And I think I'm right. And then I hear them say it again. And I'm like, dang it, I wasn't right. But I'm trying. As I said, I will be very excited to see what happens next in episode 5. And I hope you come along on the journey with me. What did you think about this episode? What did you think about my reaction? Please let me know in the comment section below. You know I love hearing from all of you down there. But that's all for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!